Greetings, seekers after enlightenment. Yes, it is the Irish fella. And I will tell you right from the jump, I'm drunk as fuck. And oh, damn, son.
Hey, people of YouTube, people of the internet. It's Slippery, and welcome back to my channel. And I just wanted to make a short video today because some of you already know, and some of you probably don't know who this individual was. He was known as Sifu. Sometimes he called him Grandpa Sifu, or Elder, or the Irish fella. He had a lot of names for himself. And he was like one of the first individuals that I ran into on this on this interesting journey I've been having on YouTube, and he was quite the character. And he, unfortunately, we learned yesterday or the day before that he had passed away, and I believe he was about 66 years old, and he had a recurrence of cancer that he had suffered with for a while now. And when I first met him on YouTube, he had been diagnosed with stomach cancer, and he went through surgery, and he did a live stream from his hospital bed. And he was a tough old bird. He was a Marine. You know, people say sometimes call Marines ex-Marines, but I was told by a Marine unequivocally that there is no such thing as an ex-Marine. So he was a tough bird, and he had his proclivities, and we would get into it from time to time. And he would be nasty. He was kind of sort of the Yogi Berra of this corner of YouTube. He had all his Sifuisms, and he would talk about, I don't know, he would talk about Mickey Mouse bullshit, and he had these different sayings that he would have, and he would, you know, don't corner an old rat, he still might have a bite or two left in him. And, you know, he was great with, he had some great rhetoric, and he was an articulate fella, and he had a lot of life experience, and it seems like he had a full life. I think he hailed originally from Syracuse. So it was, I felt bad when I heard that he had passed away, because I had my run-ins with Sifu, but nothing bitter or nasty. I made a video, and that's why I'm making this video as sort of a mini tribute to Sifu, because I didn't know him that well. But I do want to send a shout out to Dan King, who, again, Dan knows Sifu about as long as I do, but Dan reached out because genuinely, several times in our Dogpile live streams, we would wonder out loud about Sifu and how he was doing, because he hadn't been around for a while. So I want to give my compliments to Dan for actually reaching out and finally finding out, because he genuinely cared about how Sifu was. And I saw that Wally Magaman this morning made a day late and a dollar short tribute to Sifu, because Sifu was like the only human being left on the planet that would actually try to take Magaman's side in his craziness. So the last guy that actually would stand up for and try to defend Magaman had no proclivity to reach out to the guy or find out who he was, or shoot him an email or ask him how he was. The last human being, but Dan King did. So that kind of shows you what kind of man the Magaman is and what kind of man Dan King is. And if you had both of them or wanted both of them to be your friend, which one you'd rather have as a friend? It's a no-brainer in any reasonable person's world. You know, Wally, you should be ashamed of yourself for not reaching out to the guy. You even said this morning on your video that, when you were feigning suicide and you needed attention, he gave you the attention that you needed for whatever your mental breakdowns always are. So you should be ashamed of yourself for not doing more to reach out to the man, but it's always about you. So I just wanted to post this little video that I made, and like I said, I always would butt horns with Sifu when he had his Malia doll, which, he was into his own thing and whatever. I mean, everybody has their own thing. But I would rib him about the Malaya doll, and he would snap back at me, and he wasn't subtle. He would sometimes just say, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, Magaman is my friend. So I respect him for that, because he stuck by his guns, And I also want to send a shout out to Money AD for doing a nice tribute. And a lot of people were on there yesterday talking about Sifu, and I guess that's how you generally keep the person alive, is by talking about them and remembering them. So I know all you folks there were much closer to him than I was, and it was very nice to see everybody get together and talk about him. I'm sure it was pleased whatever dimension or universe or heaven or however you think the afterlife is, I'm sure he was pleased with it. So check out this trolling video I made of Sifu and Maga Man. And Sifu, wherever you might be, Godspeed, my brother. Have a good one. Slippery out.
Ain't that the way? And I guess I'll be good. Yes, as a week, they do. Bastard. That the back. Can me. Not, guys. Folks, I